Okay, great. Hooray. Well, we're glad you're here, friends. And as other people pop on, I thought I'd go ahead and record so that you guys can see this. But Emily, I'll let you start just by introducing and sharing a little of your story.
Well, you guys all know me pretty well, but I met Alyssa when we lived in Appleton, and her husband is a pastor at the church we were going to, but her kids also went to the school that we were going to. And I can't remember which one of your sons
I
was in
know.
the girls' classes. So I have a fifth and a sixth
It
grader
might
now.
be Truett. Oh, yeah.
That's what I
It's
think
my
it was.
fifth grader. It's my
Okay.
fifth grader. Yeah.
So that's how I met Alyssa, and I've kind of seen different stuff that she's posted and put online and heard about. And then I met another lady at the church I'm going to right now that also uses Shaklee. So I kind of reached out to Alyssa, and I've been slowly stuff over the last, probably 4 years. I think I started with cleaning supplies when we moved into our house about 4 years ago, and did they used to call it the Prove It Challenge. What is it called now again?
Now it's Ready, Set, Wellness.
The Ready, Set, Wellness. I did that before we went on our cruise to kind of slim down and be ready to go for a 10-year anniversary cruise. So that was really, that was a good experience and kind of good intro to some of the stuff. And most recently, I started some of the like skincare stuff, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's been a good thing for our preteen girls that we have in the house that are starting with acne and all sorts of that fun stuff. Hi, Emily. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Good to see you.
So that's kind of the progression of where we've been at, with kind of slowly building in and dabbling in different things.
That's great. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Awesome. So what I'll do is really kind of share with you guys a little bit of my story too. And then I'll share with you a little bit of Shaklee's philosophy of products, because the thing is they have 300 products. I'm not going to go through all of them with you because that would take forever. But what we'll do is we'll tell you their philosophy of how they make their products and the cleanliness behind them and why they work so well. And then we'll share some of Emily's favorite products and then a special at the end. So, and if you need to multitask, absolutely, your moms, and we get it. So this is also why I recorded it, so you could always watch this later. But I have to also make sure that the screen will advance, and maybe it won't. Okay, there we go. So here's a little bit of my story. So I was raised on Shaklee products, but we moved away from our distributor back in the 80s, and those the days before the internet. And so I was reintroduced when I was a new mom, and my friend invited me over for her green cleaning party. And that was the first time I actually cared about my cleaners. So I went there, and then I found out it was Shaklee, and I only thought of Shaklee as a supplement company. Turns out they're both. Turns out they have a lot more than that. And so I actually didn't buy anything at that event because money was really tight, and all I could think about was how tight money was and not even how much money the cleaners would save me. I had no idea. But I thought about my wanting Shaklee products for 2 years until somebody talked to me about the value of a business that I could do from home while my kids were napping. And I thought, you know what? At least I could buy the products, and maybe I'll just do that until I go back to teaching, because I was a full-time teacher, loved what I was doing. I always planned to go back in the classroom. So I started the business, and I knew my mom would be my first customer. So that was like easy decision right there. But then I just really started sharing its products I truly believe in. And so I've been doing this for 11 years now, and it has earned us multiple trips, a car payment, and I have make about 4 times as much as I did as a Christian school teacher. And I don't say that to brag, but I say that because I know money is tight for a lot of people right now. And this was something that was a huge solution for our family. And so if ever that's something you want to hear more about, I'm happy to share it with you, because I like to do it in a way that is not salesy, but just sharing what makes a difference in my life and what can make a difference in other people's lives. So here's a little bit about Shaklee and why it's unique. It's called Shaklee in case you thought it was Shaklee. Everybody thinks it's Shaklee because we sell shakes. But Dr. Shaklee was a real person. He believed that people should be living in harmony with nature, and he was a chiropractor. And he thought, wouldn't it be great if we could get the best nutrition every day, but it's impossible to eat the best nutrition every day, which is so funny. He said that like over 100 years ago. And so he invented the world's first vitamin in 1915. And he sold it out of his chiropractic office for many years. And he was really an innovator. So he also invented the world's first green cleaner. Because he thought people should live in harmony with nature. And so he was selling these things out of his chiropractic office until he was about to retire in the 60s. And his kids said, Dad, what are you going to do so that people can still get these products? And so he looked at putting them, on the shelves of Walmart, and he thought, well, right now my products are selling because people who believe in them are sharing them. And so, what if I just rewarded people for doing that same thing? And that's really where it wasn't the very first of this business model, but that's the idea, that people who believe in the products share them, people like me, people like Emily, and then they get a reward by sharing them, or maybe even just get a little money back by sharing them. And so that's a little bit about who Dr. Shaklee is, why it's called Shaklee and not Shaklee. And then the Shaklee of today really sticks with that same philosophy of Dr. Shaklee. The products are made in harmony with nature. Their standards are actually higher than organic standards. I really didn't know any of this until I was doing it, but apparently organic standards are not always very high, in the sense of they just kind of look at the end results, but not like what could be in the ground, or what could be, this is upstream or downstream, things like that. And so Shaklee tests all of their ingredients that they get before they use it, but then they also process it and then test it afterwards, because they want to make sure in the process that the nutrition and they're not somehow contaminated. And there have been times actually their products have been contaminated by a machine, and they've just thrown it out. And so they really have a high value of things being beyond organic. And unfortunately, the supplement world just really isn't that way. FDA really doesn't crack down on supplements the way they should. If ever you see any specials on 2020, it's kind of terrifying what FDA doesn't crack down on. They do a lot with medications. They care a lot about medications, and they should, but they really don't look at supplements as much as they should. So there's oftentimes that what's written on a bottle is not actually inside of a bottle, unless you're with a company that you trust. And so when I heard that at that event, before I bought anything, I chose to stop using my crappy vitamins, because I knew that I probably could just try to eat clean and do my best. And then it was when I started my business, I was able to start taking the products, and it turned out they weren't all that expensive after all. And so anyways, they have multiple patents on their products, multiple clinical studies, which any nutrition company is lucky if they have one. Shaklee has over 138 clinical studies. Olympians trust them. NASA came to them and said, hey, will you make products for astronauts? So they've got this gold standard on what they have. But on top of it, they did a study on people using Shaklee products for 20 years or more. And I love this graphic here because it pretty much sums it up. It says that the people who used Shaklee, so they tested them next to people using nothing at all, and then people using different product lines, like supplements of a different company. The people who had been using Shaklee were actually quite a bit older than the people in the other two groups, and they still took little to no medications, rated their health better, had a lower risk of dementia, good metabolic health, cardiovascular health. If you don't know, heart health is the #1 killer of women, especially. And so just to have overall better health and still be older. And I mean, I can't remember the age group, but I think that they were in their 60s, the people that they were testing who had been using Shaklee products for 20 years or more. So, and I will say, these people probably had a better overall awareness of taking care of their health, right? Because you can't take one magic pill and make your health better. And I hope you know that. I hope you know that's not what I'm sharing with you. But having products that are going to move the needle is really helpful and really important. And so, Shaklee products, what they have is they started out as a nutrition company. Dr. Shaklee invented the world's first vitamin, but then they've expanded into a weight loss line, a beauty line, which Emily's going to share with you, and then also their home care line. And like I said, Emily's going to share all of those with you, but all of those have that same backing of tons of testing beyond organic and then scientifically proven too. So, so that's, just know that if there's something you're looking for, Shaklee probably has it in any of these categories. Even if we don't talk about it today, you can reach out to us and we can share with you what there are. So Emily, I'll have you talk about some of your favorite products, and we'll start with the Life Shake.
Sorry, the dog was barking like a maniac again. I have been on the hunt for a protein powder that is not high in soy and that my kids will actually like. And then my husband also is kind of particular about protein powders and what goes into his little boy's body. And he okayed this one. And so, and all my kids liked it, which is incredible. And first we had to doctor it up by putting a bunch of extra stuff in it. And now they literally, it is our fastest way to get out the door in the morning by doing a cup and a half of milk and a scoop of the powder, and you put in a shaker bottle and we run out the door. The biggest downfall is finding the cups lost underneath the front seat of the car. And you're like, how long has that been there? But we mostly use the plant-based ones, but I do have some of the soy-based ones, but I just don't usually have my kids use those too much, just for personal choices. But I know a lot of people who use them and love them and haven't had any issues with using them between boys and girls and growing kids and grown adults. So I can't, everyone has to make that decision, but it's been a huge blessing getting out the door in the morning. And even, I think sometimes as moms, we know how hard it is to get a good meal and for the day, and not just to eat like granola bars and a bag of chips and hope that you'll still be in a good mindset at the end of the day. Getting enough protein in for moms is so important. So it's been good for us.
Good. Thanks for sharing. And I'll even say our family, every Sunday night is smoothie Sundays for us, because it's just an easy meal. And we have the individual like ninja cups. So each kid can pick out their protein powder and then mix in a frozen fruit or something like that. And they each create their own shake. And it's just an easy meal while we're packing lunches for the week ahead and stuff like that. But all my kids also get a shake in the morning, because I have 4 boys. I didn't mention that. 4 hungry boys. They're hungry all the time. And I noticed in the mornings, it was like they would each eat like a banana while we're making their oatmeal. Then they'd make their oatmeal and then they'd ask for cereal afterwards and then more cereal. And so we started saying, hey, what if we did a shake like with like a half serving where each kid gets 1 scoop, rather 2 scoops would be a full serving. Anyway, so we do that. Every kid gets a shake in the morning, but we do a big group one and just, divvy it out among the kids. They all like chocolate. And that's been much better for keeping them from eating a bajillion things of cereal in the morning, which is so much better for them. It'll fill them up for until lunch, right? Rather than a bunch of carbs that are going to make them hungry in a couple hours. So, okay, so that's a shake. Another one of Emily's favorites is the skincare. So, Emily, why don't you share your story with this?
Sure. So this is kind of another one of the things that I slowly tried 1 or 2 of the things to see if I liked it, and then kind of progressed. I started with like the nighttime, like moisturizing cream and some stuff to help with my like mom eyes that you wake up in the morning and you still look like you've been not sleeping for days. And I liked that my skin is really sensitive to anything that I put on it. Pretty much anything would make me break out more than I was before. So I just wouldn't wash my face. So I was really worried that I was gonna have a bad reaction. I haven't had anything. It's now starting to get dry around here and my face still it feels nice and moisturized and it isn't getting dried out. I did buy some more of the items. One is including the face cleanser. And I've really liked that both for myself and for my oldest. She is 12 now and is starting to like break out and was having these like, I don't know, things on her forehead that would never go away. They never turned into anything and they just would be there for months. And she's been using it for probably the last 6 weeks and they're slowly now starting to fade away. And they had been there literally all summer long. So it could be coincidence. It could be the protein. It could be the face stuff. I don't know. But the biggest change in the last 6 weeks has been adding the Shaklee stuff. So I think that really probably is the biggest proponent of it. And I just got the lotion a couple days ago and I wasn't so sure about the smell, but it's growing on me. I like it. It's a really kind of a fresh smell. So yeah, I've been really liking anything that I've gotten so far.
It's great. Good. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. And I'll say, I mean, this skincare line came out in 2017. They took like 8 years to create it. Like that's the kind of science research that they do. And so I took a picture, and that really is my before picture, with the same lighting. And so what I really saw was the radiance of my skin. And I used all 4 of the steps. They have a different moisturizer for morning and night. So that's what you see in that picture. And then the masks are kind of like an optional, you get them for free if you buy the whole regimen. That's why that picture is there. But I just saw a difference in radiance. And then the longer I've used it, the more I've kind of seen the radiance of my skin. I will say my mom gave me great skin, so I'm grateful for that too. I started with something good. But I have other pictures here where you can see a friend of mine put it on her neck and took before and after pictures. And you can see she used the whole regimen. And so if you want to do that, I hear that you have to go up with your neck when you're putting something on versus down, which makes gravity work on your neck, I guess. So I love these before and after pictures, great for people of all ages. So something else to keep in mind there, and it has nutrition in it. It has like vitamin C, vitamin E, which makes your skin lighter and tighter and brighter, which is like crazy. So I love that it's nutrition for your skin. But I will say using the products also makes a difference on your skin too. So it's like you said, Emily, was it the protein that made a difference for your daughter? Was it the skincare? It's probably a little bit of both. So yeah, so that's a skincare. And then I'll let you talk about the cleaners.
Well, really fast, I forgot to say that I got a bonus mascara from ordering a thing a couple months ago, and I've been really liking that too, because it like makes your eyelashes actually grow, which is an issue.
Yes, me
for
too.
Some of us.
Not the boys. The boys always have long eyelashes.
I know. You should see my 5-year-old sons. It's depressing. I'm like, that's not fair.
It's not fair.
So again, I started with buying like the home green cleaning kit to begin with, and I still have one of the containers of the household cleaner. And like, I wish my husband was here and he could step in, because I was telling him how I use it to make window cleaner, and he is an obsessive windshield washer fluid user, like to the point where he runs out of it all the time. And I said, and he's like, well, I really need some. Do you think that window cleaner that you use would work? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think it would hurt anything. He swears by it now. He loves it. He says it works just as good as the Rain-X, but he makes sure that he always runs out of it, before it starts getting cold. But he's like, it's amazing. The water just like pools and like pelts off instead of the normal stuff. So fun fact, he has really been liking that.
So do you put it in the car dispenser thing?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So like when you pull the thing for your windshield washers to start going. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Really I'm going to have to pass that on. That's
yes. Cool. But I started because I asked my kids to help clean around the house, and I didn't want them using certain cleaners because I knew that it wasn't good for them, but then really, is it good for me either? So we kind of started with getting things so that the kids could still help clean, and I didn't have to do everything myself. And like I said, I still have one of my first things of the general cleaner, and I still use it. We still love it.
Yeah, it's so cheap. It lasts forever. And so like that window cleaner that Emily's talking about, it is pictured here. It is 1 cent a bottle because this was Dr. Shaklee's invention. He said, most cleaners that are going out are mostly water. And so he said, I'm going to ship the concentrate to people and let them add their own water. And so the basic H2 is a concentrate, and then you get spray bottles, or you can use your own spray bottles, whatever, but you fill them up with water. And then with the window cleaner, it's just like 1 or 2 drops. And then it makes that whole 16-ounce bottle of window cleaner. And then that same bottle of the all-purpose cleaner also makes all-purpose cleaner, degreaser. We've used it to clean our floors, clean our countertops, clean the windows, everything, clean the car, all the things. And so, but that's just like their all-purpose cleaner. All of their stuff is super concentrated. They have laundry detergent, they have all the things. And so I even put a graphic there. It talks about the Get Clean Starter Kit. It's about $100 maybe, but it's worth 3,400 of name brand cleaners. Like that's how long it lasts and how concentrated it is. So it's pretty awesome. So, okay.
Alyssa, one of
yes.
my favorite things that you put up that I forgot that because my little guy doesn't take as many baths, but she would put it in the bathtub while her little guy was taking a bath. So the bathtub was like soaking with the cleaner and it was safe enough to be in there with the kid. And then when you get him out, you just quick wipe everything down and scrub it out. And then you magically have a clean bathtub and you didn't have to sit and do anything. You were in there with your kid taking the bath anyways. So I did do that for, I don't know, probably a year while Jack still took baths, but
yeah. Well, and I mean, it's got a ton of off-label uses. So I would wash my dog with it.
That's a good
learned that because it'll help repel dirt even off the dog. So, and it's great, makes a great bubble bath for babies. You can clean your kids' toys in it. I never wipe down the bathtub, I'll say. I just wash my kids in it. So yeah, it's got a ton of off-label uses. So, and actually I mentioned I know you said one of your friends has a farm. Even if you look up Shaklee Basic Age, has a ton of uses on the farm. So, yeah. So, okay. So, and then if you're thinking nutrition, so that's the thing. We've talked about a lot of things. We've thrown a lot of things at you. If you're thinking about nutrition and where to start, I always encourage people to start at the Ready Set Wellness. That's what Emily mentioned earlier. That's like our supplement plan. And it also comes with a protein a day. And also comes with a free product. So that's why I often tell people this is a great place to start. You can do a personalized plan where you take a quiz. You talk about your family history, what your health goals are, and you get a personalized supplement plan. Or there's another vitamin strip that was made out of that 20-year study I mentioned earlier, which is also a really, really good product line. So, if you want to do either of those, that's also a good place to start. So, and I should mention with that one of the things we're doing right after Thanksgiving is called Healthy Through the Holidays. We do this every year. People love it. It's a encouragement group through Facebook, where we're just encouraging people to take small steps over the holidays. It's not like a weight loss group during the holidays because we all want to eat cookies and all the yummy things, right? But the problem for me is that I usually eat like 20 cookies rather than like 4, right? Or it's a self-control thing. But I also know that doesn't make me feel good. So I try to make healthy choices and fill my body with healthy choices so that I'm a little smarter when the cookies get put in front of me. And so, the Healthy Through the Holiday groups is really just encourage you to take your daily supplements, take your daily shake, and you get a point for eat both of those things. So 1 point for each of those, 2 points a day for that. And then each day is another challenge. And whether it's like simple stuff, you guys, 1 week we're focusing on just drinking a little extra water. Another week we're focusing on having an extra cup of veggies. And another week it's an extra 15 minutes of exercise. So it's not like a hard challenge. It's just a keep on track challenge. So if you want something like that, where you can still eat yummy food, but just do something good for yourself through the holiday season, that starts the week after Thanksgiving. And so if you get a package like the Ready Set Wellness, it's a great place to start. We're going to do giveaways in that group just for doing what you want to do anyway, right? So you can ask Emily about that too, because I know she's doing that with us. So, and I should tell you, I have people that just got in good routines by doing Healthy Through the Holidays. And one of my friends, she did it in 2019. And of course, life was busy. And then I got together with her in the summer of 2020, and we'd all been locked down, right? So I hadn't seen her, and I could tell she had lost a significant amount of weight. And I was like, how did you do it? And she said, I did it. She said, I did it through stripping and shaking, which is what we often talk about, because you get a vitamin strip and you get your shake. And she's like, I'm just stripping and shaking every day. But she said that Healthy Through the Holidays group got her in some good habits of just a little bit more exercise and a little bit of water and things like that. So if you want something doable, it's a really doable plan. So, and then I should just mention that the top 3 trends in our world today are e-commerce, wellness, and a side gig. And so if you want to have another side gig that, you don't have to drive around town with, or ship stuff to people with, or things like that, this has been a really good side gig, and you could start it for $25 this month. So ask us more about that. So, okay, where do you want to start? Here's all the different product lines we've talked about. And so the biggest thing I want you to remember, if you're ready to buy, and I will tell you there's a special coming tomorrow for Black Friday week. So wait until tomorrow and see what the special is, because I don't know what it is yet. But wait until tomorrow. But we have a Facebook group where we can keep you in the loop. But the best deal is spending $150. Whatever you want to get, spend $150. And the reason for that is because that automatically triggers something called a membership, which gives you 15% off, and then nothing ever happens. If you never buy again, nothing happens. But if you do buy again, all of your future orders will be 15% off. So that's why I always tell people, whenever you buy it the first time, spend $150 because you'll get that free membership. You'll also get free shipping. Who doesn't love free shipping? I know I do. And then, and just as an extra special for you guys for being here, I'm also going to give you one of my favorite immunity products. It's called Defend and Resist. And so if you end up wanting to do that, talk to Emily first before you place your order. So we can tell you about whatever the special is tomorrow. And then also we'll make sure you get that free. It's called Defend and Resist. It's this really great supplement that you take as soon as you start to feel sick. It has echinacea and elderberry in it. And then usually it keeps us from actually getting totally sick. And so I have some customers that only buy that and nothing else because they can't afford anything else and still swear how much it works. I think it's an incredible product. So I'll give that to you for free if you spend $150. So any questions or thoughts or anything else to share?
I don't really have anything, but thanks guys for making time to come. I know it's like kind of a crazy time. People are finishing up their days and dinner and everything. So I appreciate it. I know we all have littles. Yes, hi Davidson.
I see Emily's little guy. Oh my gosh.
Your auntie.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good wavy.
Oh, I love it.